The reasons why God had you wait so long. Why have so many who have received promises from the Lord had to wait and suffer for months and years before they see their promises from the Lord manifest? Well, during the times of waiting, the Lord works on changing us to become more like Him. He's removing our pride, unforgiveness, and being delivered from our fleshly sin, and strengthening our integrity, endurance, and steadfastness, to not waver and walking in the fruit of the Spirit, which ultimately prepares us to walk in our full calling and destiny in Him. Many are waiting on financial situations changing, healing manifestations in your body, relationships changing, and you're suffering, and the attacks have been, you wanting them removed. So think about Joseph. He had to wait in jail for over 3 years for wrongfully being accused of trying to have sex with Potiphar's wife. The Lord tested Joseph by causing him to wait to see if he could still have faith to see his promises of his dreams, having his brothers bow down to him, fulfilled in his circumstances, which was the total opposite of what they looked like. And so his faith was being stretched in all of that. Well, it turned out he became number 2 in command of all Egypt. And ultimately, his brothers did bow down and they asked for forgiveness. So ultimately, he was used to help people in a 7-year drought. Abraham had to wait 25 years after God told him that he would make him a great nation, come from him, that his descendants would be like the stars, Genesis 15. Sadly, Sarah couldn't wait any longer for Abraham to fulfill that, so had him basically have relations with Hagar, the maidservant. Ultimately, she hated Hagar. Eventually, 13 years later, Sarah got pregnant by Abraham when he was 100 years old and she was 90. So the Bible considered Abraham a friend of God. Why? Because he had to wait 25 years to fulfill the promises from the Lord. And so understanding that the Lord is in all of the waiting. Moses, considered the meekest man on earth. How did this happen? Well, by having to escape from his luxurious life with Pharaoh in Egypt. And he had to go into the wilderness for 40 years. Sometimes it takes years for us to be humbled from our pride and arrogance, to forgive everyone who hurt us, to repent and turn from our sin and to change. Moses was raised in the wealthiest family in Egypt, so it takes time to get delivered from all the pride and the love of money, to walk in humility and to obey God. So God cannot trust people who walk in pride to walk in a strong and effective ministry for Him. David was promised to become king of Israel, but he had to wait about 15 years running for his life from King Saul, who was jealous and wanted to kill him. So long suffering without complaining is one of the fruits of the Spirit that few walk in. Waiting, patience, and long suffering changes you to walk in the same fruit that Jesus walked in, and prepares you for some of the strongest, most anointed ministry to help others. Sadly, many change or even will forfeit God's plan because they did not wait. They refuse to do that. They want to take it into their own hands. So Isaiah chapter 40, verse 31 says, "But those who wait on the Lord will renew their strength. They will mount up like eagles. They will run and not be weary, and they will walk and not faint." And then James chapter 1, verses 2 through 4 says, "My brethren, count it all joy when you fall into various trials, knowing that the testing of your faith produces patience. But let patience have its perfect work, for you to be perfect and complete, lacking nothing." So waiting causes us to depend and trust in the Lord, because many times we cannot change our circumstances. If you could get yourself out of the trials and negative circumstances, then why would you need God? So wait patiently, allow the process to change you to become more like Christ. All right, so I have a book called Freedom from Soul Wounds and Demons. It's helping thousands of people around the world to get their wounds healed, to get delivered, so that they can actually fulfill the calling that the Lord has in their life. That book's available on Amazon. It's called Freedom from Soul Wounds and Demons. It's available on Amazon in paperback, Kindle, and Audible. You can also request a personal session of healing and deliverance with me. If you're interested in that, go out to our website, restored2tofreedom.com. Click on Contact Me and submit the form, or you can call 317-459-7091.